Hi everyone, quick preview this morning of the week ahead. It's Tuesday the 25th of July, so just going through to the weekend. No Diamond Leagues. The next Diamond League is at Zurich on the 31st of August, which will be after the World Championships. So it's a bit of a lull before the storm. We've had the final performances that would count at the weekend towards the British team selection for the World Champs, so look out for that announcement. So this week we've got Tuesday, we've got a British Milers Club meeting at Trafford, and Wednesday is just the regular Watford Wednesday Open meets. I won't be going to either of those, but and you know, good fields, but nothing particularly to highlight, because the one I'm going to highlight is the Tooting British Milers Club meeting, where they've got significant prize money available, which has attracted some really good athletes. And once you get some good runners signing up to go for the prize money, it attracts others to come in and look for good races and fast times. So hopefully there'll be some really good fields and races going on there. For example, the men's 800's got 3 athletes who were in the domestic 800 at the Diamond League on Saturday. It's Tom Randolph, Sam Reardon and Guy Learmonth. So that should be a cracker. The women's racers, Alex Bell and Reve Walcott Nolan, some Americans and Aussies, so there's some sub 2 athletes in there. So again, another cracking race. We're looking to go under 2 minutes. The women's men's 1500, headed by Sam Tanner, who's been in Diamond Leagues recently, and then you've got Tom Keane, Adam Fogg, Callum Elson and others. I see the paces marked down as 153, 154 through 800, so it gives you a good idea what they're aiming at. But again, prize money on the line, be one eye on that for some of them, but Tanner must be the favourite, I would think. 1500, got Megan Keith in, who ran 14:56, got the world qualifying time for 5,000 metres at the Diamond League on Saturday. But I noticed she's down for a couple of races this week, so I'm not quite sure whether that 14:56 would have changed her plans. And then there's 5,000s for the men and women. Not quite the same at the sharp end on those, but again, some good depth in both of those races going on at Tooting on Wednesday night. I'll be there. I'll try and film all the races if possible, put them up on my YouTube channel, which you're watching at the moment, of course. But I won't be able to film so easily at the Birmingham Grand Prix. That's the British Milers Club Grand Prix on Saturday, because Vinco and Runner Space will film that and show a live stream, which is available on subscription. Again, the field's probably not as great as Watford, but still some good athletes in there. Men's 800, Piers Copeland. Women's has got Izzy Boffey, who just broke 2 minutes. Kai Malanga ran a PB at the England Champs over 1500 at the weekend. There's close to 2 minutes. And Michaela Mayer from the States, who's a I think sub 2 800 metre runner. Some good people in that. Then 1500 on the men's side, we've got, well, Tom Mortimer's listed, but I think he might have withdrawn, so I'm not quite sure on that. There's a whole bunch running 339, 340 in there, again looking for good conditions. And this is all part of the Birmingham University Festival for Sport, which I think brings quite a lot of atmosphere, and they've invested in things like wave light technology for the distance races, BMC distance races. So some pacing being set there, which I'm sure is set quite quick. We've got on the women's 1500, Amy Eloise Markov and Neve Briston Hubbard from the Brits, but the fastest in there on PBs or season's best of the USA athletes, around 4:08. Men's 3000, a really good domestic entry, Jack Rowe, one of them, for example. So look out for a really good domestic dust up, which I love. So that should go well under 8 minutes, all being well. And then on the women's side, we've got Whitney Orton from the USA. I've got a wasp flying around me. Megan Keith, as I say, entered, but I wouldn't necessarily expect her to be racing all the 3 times in a week, having run that 14:56. And then we've got a couple of 2,000 metre steeplechases. Men's one perhaps more interesting than the women's, because there's Phil Norman, Mark Pierce and Axel Christensen, who's at Birmingham University. You may remember a big winner of the, I think, the under-20 European cross country not so long ago. Big mileage guy. I haven't seen too much of him in this country, but he'll be in there. And then a Danish girl is the fastest in the 2K women's steeplechase. So that's it. There's a couple of other events going on. There's a BMC at Scotstoun in Scotland on Friday night. Tracksmith doing a community event, but some good runners in their night of 5,000s on Thursday at the track that's adjacent to the Olympic Stadium in London. So yeah, a fair bit going on, but lull before the storm perhaps, generally before that World Championship starts in mid-August. So hope you all have a good week.